Hello everyone, my name's Evan Jacobs. Welcome to another edition of Boxing Time TV. Today's fight is going to be the upcoming match on the 30th of March. That's next month. Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman. Tim Tszyu is a 7-5 favorite. Tim Tszyu is 29, Keith Thurman's 35. Tim Tszyu is 5'8", Keith Thurman's 5'9". They're both 154 pounds. 70 reach for Tim Tszyu, 69 for Keith Thurman. 24-0 is Tim Tszyu. Keith Thurman 30-1 with one loss. That one loss to Manny Pacquiao. It's scheduled 12-round bout, 3-minute rounds, 10-point must scoring system, no mandatory 8-count, 3 knockdown rule waived. Let's just get right to the action, folks. Don't bore us. Let's get right to the chorus. And conventional wisdom says that Keith Thurman has not been active enough to be effective and to really do much against Tim Tszyu in this fight. Possibly. Or does the experience, does the guile of Keith Thurman, does the punching power of Keith Thurman, does the levels that Keith Thurman have fought at previously negate all that? We're going to see, hopefully, in this simulation and in the actual fight. And, it was weird. We had, at least in the U.S., we had the big fight with Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz on Thursday. So this weekend there really wasn't that much, and I was hoping to do this last night. I just didn't get to it. We had a power outage like in the neighborhood, but only like 6 houses, and then it was like only parts of the room had power, so I moved my computer downstairs because I wanted to be able to work. And then by the time I did that and finding out everything that was going on with the power, it was late and I was tired. I'm like, I don't want to do a podcast. So doing it now. Super Bowl Sunday. Look at that, Tim Tszyu just landed a right hand. I think in the first couple of rounds, Tim Tszyu is going to be a lot sharper than Keith Thurman. The question is, will he be able to sustain that? And will Keith Thurman, if his punch carries up from 147 to 154, oh, look at this, and Tim Tszyu tagging him, will Keith Thurman be able to take that? But the thing is, Keith Thurman takes a good punch, and he gives a good punch. And like I said, if the punch carries up, we'll see. All right, so right now, Keith Thurman getting punched into the ropes. So this is all Tim Tszyu right now, which is what you would expect considering how inactive Keith Thurman has been. But, Keith Thurman weathers the storm. Tim Tszyu punches himself out. It becomes a totally different fight. So I hope I'm not talking too loud. I'm in a different room, different area. Everything's sort of crammed in, and right now, Tim Tszyu doing a very good job of picking off the shots of Keith Thurman. And Tim Tszyu has shown, he can go round. So that's another thing, we'll have to see. But this is clearly, I think, probably the best opponent name-wise he's been in with, even though Keith Thurman has not been as active as we would like to see him. All right, sorry to do that into the mic. But you guys know Boxing Time TV. We're kind of sloppy. We kind of give you everything here. All right, so first round, I think you got to give it to Tim Tszyu, 10-8. So right now, Keith Thurman already behind the 8 ball, another 10-8. But we knew that Keith Thurman was going to be a bit rusty. We'll see what happens now. Oh, he comes out. He belts Tim Tszyu with a left. When Tim Tszyu whacks him back. Oh, look at that. One time catching him. One time catching Tim Tszyu with a nice left hand. And I'm telling you, Keith Thurman's a tough guy. He's a lot of guy on the ring. High ring IQ. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm just saying I don't know that he gets blown out the way that we think. It's kind of like what I thought about when Tyson fought Evander Holyfield. I thought initially Tyson, was going to blow him out, but then at some point in the fight, you realize he's in with Evander Holyfield, and Holyfield is no loser. So, and neither's Keith Thurman. So we'll see what he's able to bring to this. He's already showing he's letting his hands go more. He's catching Tim Tszyu. He hurt Tim Tszyu. We'll see a little bit about what Tim Tszyu has as he punches back, as he shows a high IQ, as he shows that Tszyu family heart coming from the fighting family by his father, Kostya. Short for Constantine, I believe. In a little bit, we'll start talking about the records. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. Once again, I'd like to thank my #1 supporter, Lee. He wants more fantasy fights. Lee, I'm going to try to do Pacquiao Mayweather 2. We'll do it in their primes. I'll get all those stats. However, although if you want to get those stats from me, send me a message. Send me do it in the comments and I'll put it in. Maybe we'll do it as like a Valentine's Day I'm going to be gone, but maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I have my list that I normally talk about of fights that I'm doing next. That's actually upstairs. Oh, these guys are letting their hands go. And I'm telling you, man, they are. And look at that Tim Tszyu landing. And Keith Thurman punching back, and that's another thing. Psychologically, how does Tim Tszyu take that? But he seems to be taking it well. And Keith Thurman, I mean, he's getting hit with shots, but he's in there. Oh, and Keith Thurman doing well, getting there behind the, getting distance between his punches. Here's the thing, we're not seeing a lot of body shots yet. Tim Tszyu tried to do that. If I'm Keith Thurman, I go to the body. Get this guy in those deep waters, see what he has. But look at that. Keith Thurman landing. I'm telling you, I think Keith Thurman is going to hurt Tszyu. One has to wonder if maybe Keith Thurman studied the fight between Vince Phillips and Tim Tszyu. And I actually interviewed Vince Phillips. Before Vince Phillips fought Kostya Tszyu, I actually interviewed him for this boxing movie that I was making back in the late 90s. And he told me he was fighting Kostya Tszyu. And I was like, oh, no, I don't know. And I don't know about that for you. And he said he wanted to fight his power, Phillips' power with Kostya Tszyu's power. Either way, Keith Thurman having a much better round. 10-9 for Thurman on 2 cards. 10-9 for Tim Tszyu on 1. So Keith Thurman behind by 5 points. We've gone 2 rounds so far on this fight. It's been a really entertaining fight so far. We'll see if it keeps up. Oh, and going to the body is Keith Thurman. I'm watering my plant. This guy, if I don't do it right now, if I don't do it when I see it, I'm going to forget about it. I gotta set a timer. I let it sort of soak in this water. We gotta take it. My plant's name is Lenny. For no reason. I'm gonna set a timer. Well, we'll see. How about when this timer goes off is when I'll do it. Okay. And right now, Tim Tszyu really boxing well. Keith Thurman just a step off, but he's landing. He's trying to counterpunch now. If I'm Keith Thurman, I bring Tim Tszyu towards me. kind of have him walk into his power. Because right now, Keith Thurman is just coming up against Tim Tszyu has, and it's just, you know, you look at Tim Tszyu's having terrific defense, like he's being rangy. Although I say that and then he gets popped. Always happens to me that way. All right, so one judge having an even, the other two judges giving it to Tim Tszyu. So Keith Thurman behind by 7 points. Once again, folks, you are watching Boxing Time TV. If you like what you're seeing, and how can you not? Please like, comment, and follow. Please share these links with your family and friends. Let's look at Keith Thurman's record. Has a decision over Mario Barrios. Like I said, that one loss to Manny Pacquiao. Decision over Josecito Lopez, which was a much tougher fight. I thought that he was going to blow out Lopez, but he wasn't. You know, he hasn't been active enough, and Lopez is a tough guy, and Lopez hurt him on a lot of occasions. The victory over Danny Garcia was really kind of a water, like that was really what solidified him as the man at 147 pounds, as did the victory over, you know, the great Sean Porter, victories over Louis Collazo, Robert Guerrero, Julio Diaz, Jesus Soto Carras. So I'm saying he has such a good record, but, you know, he just hasn't been busy enough, and it's been unfortunate, but thankfully, you know, that's, you know, he's changing things up. All right, there's someone here. I think I know who it is. I think it's some Jehovah's. It says, I saw him outside. Happy Sunday. I'm in the middle of a podcast. Like I'm literally recording as we speak. So I'm good.
I'll just put the magazine in.
Oh, that's cool.
What is
Watch out.
it?
I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm not a Jewish, I'm a Jewish guy, but I'm familiar. Hey, everything's a blessing, guys. So, thank you. Well, thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, I knew it. I saw them outside. Some Jehovah's Witnesses. Hey, it doesn't bother me. Good for them. Everything's a blessing. I'm a proud Jewish man, and I am, you know, grateful that they care. But right now we got to get back to boxing because Tim Tszyu putting on a clinic. Although what's that saying to him? He's landing, hasn't dropped Thurman. He's hurt him. But then again, Thurman has hurt him. So what is going on? What is going to happen? Guys, we are going to see. I think ultimately Tim Tszyu, maybe a late round stoppage, you know, unless he explodes with something right now, but he is, I think, taking over this fight. He's looking good, and I give Thurman credit for being gutsy, for being game, for being in there, for not shying away, for not trying to survive. But at some point, I think he's going to get into survival mode, and it's just going to be one of those. It's just going to be one of those things. My prediction for the real fight: Tim Tszyu taking a decision over him. But look at this. Oh, here, sorry. And they're saying that Thurman has a bruised rib. All right. So yeah, 10-9s all for Tim Tszyu. Although one judge having it even, they're saying Thurman has a bruised rib. If I'm Kostya Tszyu, I go to that rib. 9. So 9 points ahead is whatchamacallit? Is Tim Tszyu. So my thing is, if I'm Keith Thurman, I got to figure something out. And who knows, maybe he draws Tim Tszyu in. Maybe he catches Tim Tszyu with something, but it's reaching a point where if it keeps up like this, I'm just saying it's going to be all Tim Tszyu. Oh, and right now, Tszyu's getting Thurman against the ropes, and that's the thing is it's dangerous for Tszyu to be like this against Thurman, to be so close like this against Thurman. But we will have to see if, can Tim Tszyu do what he needs to do. And now he's just punching. That's the thing. And he's just staying out of Thurman's punching range. You got to give Tim Tszyu a lot of credit. He's looking really, really good here. And I mean, Thurman is always in this. He has that punch. But if he can't land it, if there's no delivery system, as they say, it's not going to matter. All right, they're saying that Thurman has a broken rib. So this potentially could be stopped. 10-8 all for Tim Tszyu, folks. So the judges are seeing him taking over. Now, I don't think Keith Thurman's out of this fight yet. I think Keith Thurman walks into a left. Right after I say that, it's just the way that things go for me. I don't think that he's out of the fight yet, but I think that we're reaching a point in the fight that it's turning. And right now, Tim Tszyu has looked dominant. And I think Keith Thurman has given a good account of himself. The question is, can this continue? Because Tim Tszyu is just many steps ahead of him. All right, folks. I fear we're going to get a carbon copy of this for the next 6 rounds. Wow, look at this. And Tszyu is just hurting Keith Thurman. He's going to the body. He knows that he has him hurt. And it's just a question of, can Tszyu keep moving? Can he stay away from the punching power of Thurman? Can he keep putting water in the basement like he's doing, taking away his legs? Or is Keith Thurman going to be able to land something? But Keith Thurman can't get close to landing things. And right now you're seeing, I mean, Tim Tszyu is just really putting it on him. If this, they maybe want to think about stopping this in the next round, I think. Oh, wobbling him. So they're saying Thurman's very tired and has a broken rib. 10-8 all for Tszyu. I'm thinking they should stop it in the 7th. I don't think the computer's going to, folks. I think we're looking at 6 more rounds of this, which I hope not. Have mercy on us here at Championship Boxing. If it keeps up like this, stop the fight. There's nothing I can do, guys. There really isn't. Like, this is a simulation. It's kind of how it's played. Once again, not ruling out the idea that Keith Thurman could land something. He could, but he's got to get close enough to be able to land something. Like we always say, delivery system. And if it's not there, if you can't do it, you can't. What's the saying? You can't hit what you can't see, or what you're not close to. Oh, and he punches him. Look at that. Oh, I'm just going to the body. Folks, stop the fight. Come on, we don't want to see Thurman. Although, look at Thurman. He's landed twice. Hey, he's still in it, folks. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and follow. Please share these links with your family and friends. Thurman, guys, just taking a pounding. Wow. Just a tough guy. And he's taking a beating. Oh, I'm just going to the body. Stop the fight. Stop. Oh, man, you got to give Thurman credit. What a chin. What a chin. If he'd been more active and he, but look at that. He's still catching him, and he catched him with the left hand. That left hand wobbled Tszyu early. If he wobbled him early, he can wobble him late. Oh, and he wobbles him again. And you got to give Tszyu credit. He is setting up the opportunities. He's just not able to do it. All right, so 10:30. So 10-8, 10-8. Broken ribs for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has a broken rib. He's tired. He's taking a lot of shots. Tim Tszyu up by 27 points. So right now, folks, I'm just saying Keith Thurman, they're gonna, hey, Sierra Championship Boxing algorithm, whatever goes on in this old 80s game, you can stop the fight. It's okay, but you never know. Thurman may find something. He may find the key. But look, see the distance that Tszyu's at. Thurman's never going to land that left. Or he probably won't. I shouldn't say never. Oh, wobbled again. Oh man, look at Tszyu. He's got him wobbled. Oh. All right, so Tim Tszyu's breathing heavy. Keith Thurman is very tired and has a broken rib. 10-8s, 10-9s, 10-9s, all for Tim Tszyu. You know, guys, and that's the thing is when the fights get like this, I kind of go quiet. There's not really much to say. Every round's like a carbon copy of the next round, and yeah, it's just one of those things. We just kind of, it just kind of happens in boxing. And I'm just saying, I mean, how much more straight right from Tim Tszyu, and he was on him. That was a blistering right hand. Is Thurman going to stay down? It looks like Thurman's going to stay down. I hope that he stays down because, wow, he took a shellacking. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Tszyu getting the 9th round knockout. A great performance by Tszyu. Tim and Keith Thurman, all the heart in the world. He was just a step behind, just a quart low, and just couldn't do it. And the fight ended in the 9th round. Thurman's knocked down one time and has a broken rib. Final scores, all academic at this point. But thank you so much for tuning in to Boxing Time TV. If you like what you've seen, please like, comment, and follow. Please share these links with your family and friends. And, we will see you next time on Boxing Time TV, where our motto is, why wait? Watch it now, then watch the real thing when it airs and compare. We'll see you next time.